How are you doing and how have you been? My name's Tazastical, this is Rimworld, new series, Ice Sheet Challenge, Cannibal Run, 500% Randy Random, what could go wrong? Anyway, let's jump to it because we don't need anything more than that. We're going to do Lost Tribes, so we start with tribal research, that sort of jam. We start with one person, I've got everything done, it's almost like I'm a professional now. I hope you lot are proud of me. Any newcomers, I've always been like this. So we're going to go down to Randy, we're going to go to custom and basically put the threat scale to 500%. We could fiddle with other things, but I think, putting it up to 500% difficulty as max as possible. I think we can all agree that's enough for an ice sheet challenge. Reload any time in case any shenanigans happens with load files, you know the jam by now. So, as always, we pick the seed of the channel, which is, if you've guessed it, Tazasko, I know, really genius. I'm going to put the global coverage to 100%. I do have a little bit of a potato PC, so at times I probably will cut out loading to the map and that sort of stuff, so don't worry about that. And I will allow all the factions, they're all there, it's always great to see them all. Rainfall will put low, rainfall will put high, beg your pardon. Overall temperature will put low because obviously Ice Sheet Challenge, we want as many areas that are cold as possible that we can pick from. Anyway, let's generate and I'll catch you in a bit. So here we go, this is our beautiful planet. Oh boy, does it look nice. So, if you're looking to do this challenge yourself, or you just wonder what's going through my lovely mind, this is what sort of things that you want to aim for. Being near tundra is really good. For example, if you look down at the left-hand corner, it says the movement difficulty. Ice Sheet is 2.9, tundra is 1.1. I think you can get 1. Yeah, there we go, 1. So being near tundra is obviously really good for that movement. Being near a road is, if we check here, can reduce it even further, so that's a bonus, but again, that is more than a bonus. Being near a friendly or a neutral that you could potentially get, or an enemy that you could potentially raid, obviously you could potentially raid them like both, especially for cannibal for early food is pretty key. So, with that being said, as I've sort of highlighted over here, I sort of had a look around the map just to give you guys an idea, and there's a lot of hostile nations. This is the one place that we can get to a place where we've got a friendly here now. Yes, that's a lot of land to traverse if we want to trade with them. We've got a road here. We could potentially obviously sit really close. So basically what I'm debating here is, do we sit here where we're sort of in the middle of two people? We could potentially raid them for cannibal food. Again, very far away. I don't want to do mountainous because I've done quite a few mountainous and I think it's a bit easy mode, and to be honest I've had enough with infestations, so I think we might go here where we're quite close and perhaps we can make friends for once in my Rimworld career. That would be quite nice. We'll go with large hills. If we have a look at the terrain, luckily, see, you can do a thing where you look for caves as well. That's another good strategy with Ice Sheet. You can do stuff with caves and stuff like that. Sandstone and limestone, that's absolutely fine. We're not mid-maxing. We pick the location, whatever we get here, we're sort of left with. We're going to go a little bit larger, which makes life a little bit more difficult for ourselves because we are doing a true naked brutality to start. We're not starting with any clothes or anything like that. So the average temperature being at 0 is obviously going to be a threat for us because hypothermia is going to come in quite quickly. So here we go. Godly man porkism. Now, I was going to try and be clever and think of my own title, but Rimworld randomised this for myself and I thought it was absolutely hilarious, so that's what we're going with. Pain is virtue, cannibal, human primacy. I think this is just a perfect combination for the Ice Sheet Challenge, and you have to do cannibal anyway, really. Like, you would struggle without it. I imagine there's intelligent people that have done it, but boys and girls, I am no intelligent person. So, cannibal obviously shows us the bonus there. Human level apparel is obviously going to give us loads of stuff, so that ties in really nicely. We could even start our own leather making company. We won't put made by humans in, it might put some people off, but might turn some people on as well. Rough living, which is obviously going to be really helpful for us. Temperature, so extreme temperatures don't bother us as much. I'm curious to see how that plays out because obviously we're not going to have clothes to start with. comfort ignored, which is perfect, but I suppose we don't get any bonuses from them. But we do get bonuses from scarification. So what's that? So basically we can scar different members of our colony ourselves, and then we get off on it pretty much. So it shows the bonuses there. So we get +2, +5. Really, really cool. So, and then we have like, down here we have rituals where it's, I think it's that one, pain ripping, where we give people. Yeah, there we go. We cut symbols into them and then that gives them scars. So basically we love pain. So that's awesome. Haven't really changed too much. I added some more rituals because I think they'd be really cool. So we've got like fiesta of man-porkism, because that's what you want when you're a cannibal. You want to have a fiesta like the Spanish people do, just obviously with I don't think they eat humans. And then I did allow tattoos and hairs. I just allowed all the cannibal stuff. I allowed like one thing on the frequency and then the rest on the uncommon. Same with the hair. Oh no, I did that in tribal. Just so that we sort of all look the same. It makes sense if we're eating humans. We're sort of the right side of wrong uns. So there's a quick look and we are ready to jump in, party people. So the only mods that I did actually put onto this playthrough is the Prepare Carefully mod. Now, if you've ever tried to do an ice sheet challenge, you'll know it's incredibly hard to get the correct colonist. It's incredibly hard to get the correct colonist and to get a cannibal. So we made one ourselves. Poppy Perkins to be exact. So I did most of these. I didn't want to obviously give ourselves too many bonuses because that sort of defeats the object. But cannibal, jogger. The reason why we're doing jogger is because 1, we're doing a larger map type, and 2, because we're starting with no tribal clothes, we are starting fully naked. We're going to need to obviously get around her quick. And psychopath, just because I don't want to give ourselves anything that was too cray-cray, but I think it probably fits that she's a psycho if she managed to find herself in the Arctic naked. And with loads of scars on that she's getting off at. But these scars are important because each of these are going to give us mood modifiers, which is going to be really good to offset all the negatives we're going to get early through being naked. Certainty for our religion, I pushed to 100% just because it makes sense in this sort of scenario that we've made. Other than that, mining double passion is obviously going to be huge. Construction, I haven't touched any of these. I've sort of just left them as they is. I did add 1 flame to construction because we're going to be botching a lot. So I want to make sure obviously we can grow that, but I didn't want to cheat to the point where it's like, well, what's the point of doing this if all my skills are like maxed or anything like that? Not throwing shade, by the way, just saying that. Right, let's get to it. Let's see what our map has in store for us. The gods were very angry. The blood machines came at night. They swept through your village, cutting and burning your people with their blades and devil fire. Only you escaped. Now, after a harrowing journey, with no friends to turn to, and no clothes, mind you, you must build a new home in the wilderness, like your ancestors did. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is actually have a look around. So, missions number 1 is, well, 1, to see if there's anything interesting around the map, because obviously that's always key. Obviously we do have some structures. Not sure we're going to actually be able to use a lot of them, because especially being naked and especially brutality start, we need to be using these steam geysers as basically our source of heat. We do have some snow hares on the map at the moment, so obviously they're going to be our main source of food, but anyone that's done this challenge or is looking to do this challenge, actually we have quite a lot. They will leave at some point because obviously there's no food on the map, and then we're in big trouble. So actually putting Randy at plus 500% is sort of helpful, as long as he throws humans at us so we can eat them. So nearest steam geyser is this one here, because obviously we need to be in the warmth as quickly as possible. It's probably not the steam geyser that I like the most, because it is out in the open, and actually there's no... because you need to locate steel as well, because that's what we're going to have to build all of our first resources with, which does break my heart because I've had struggles with steel in the past. Now, we could deconstruct stuff, but that's going to give us like 2 to 3 blocks or parts of that resource, which really is, they still always make me nervous seeing these giant centipede shells. But yeah, they only give you like 2 to 3, and especially with our construction skill being only at 3, really we want to lean on that 8 on mining. So what we're going to have to do is, I think we're going to mine this steel here because it's quite close to here. It's a shame there isn't a source of steel here. And we need to basically get in the warmth as quickly as possible. The temperature, if you look over the right-hand corner-ish, minus 12 degrees. Now, Perkins, as much as she is going to be the MVP, she is going to get hypothermia extraordinarily quickly. So, we need to click self-tend, so this is the first couple of things that we need to do, so then she can self-tend. We need the base up first. The reason why we're getting the base up first is because every little injury she's going to get is going to mean construction is going to be that much more botched. Plus, obviously because we're naked, we just need to get undercover as quick as possible. When I say undercover, I just mean warm, do you know what I mean? I don't know if you party people have ever been naked and left in the Antarctic like our gal Perkins, but if you have, you can relate. Well, let's get on speed 1, and we're going to have to obviously keep an eye on her health, but there's not too much we can do early on. Now, the first mistake is we need to not waste time, so we need to go for the steel that is obviously the closest. Now, 4, 5, 6 should be enough. So really what we need to do to be the most optimal, as any guide or anything will tell you, is a 4 by 5. So that's what we're going to aim for. It's just a shame there's not a geyser that's a little bit closer. So now with the right steel clicked on, basically I've done that on purpose, party people, to see if you were paying attention. You let me know down below if you were. Alright, let's get on speed 3, and we do need to obviously keep an eye on health. Minus 10. There we go. So hypothermia is already set in, meaning obviously her health, or I can never think what these are called. Overview of her health. I don't know. There must be something a bit sexier than that. All the percentages are going down. What that means is movement's going slow. Manipulation is a big one. That's what she's going to be using to mine, to build, meaning that obviously that's going to get botched a little bit, which is really, really negative. But anyway, Perkins is going to get to this pretty quickly. I think we're going to need, like, if I look to my notes, we're going to need like 100 odd, 120 odd to be able to build these walls up. Hypothermia, I think we're alright until it starts getting to like plus 25%. That's when we start like getting in a lot of trouble, a lot of like poo. We should be okay. Now there's going to be a lot of downtime for Perkins because we're going to have to manage this hypothermia extremely careful. At around 20%, we're going to have to start building. We're not going to have time to build that because obviously she might get hit with hypothermia miles before that. So we do need to be quicker than what we normally do so we can get the walls up. I'm hoping we have enough for the door as well. It's going to be a case of how much she botches here to like how lucky we are. If we double click this now, if you double click a resource, it will like automatically select any resource that's on your screen, which is really handy. We've got about 190, so I think actually we have overdone it. So if I tell her to build this wall, she's going to haul 38 steel down here to do that. Now, just for science, if we build a stockpile here, this is either a big brain or a waste of time, or I'll just cut it if I've embarrassed myself. If we tell her to haul it, she'll still only haul 38. Okay. Cut it, putty people. It's trying to be too clever. But I did want to make sure. Yeah, carry on 38 steel. So I wonder if we haul it, it carries more. Okay, it's actually not going to tell me. So I'm going to haul because I'm 99% sure she will carry more. There, she carries 50, so that's doing a little bit more than just obviously the 38, and we need to be a little bit more careful with time because hypothermia is already at 21%, so Perkins is already feeling the burn. It's just not a good burn. So there we go, obviously a lot of botching that's happening, which is not good at all. Get her to haul again manually. Now we are going to be up against the clock here with Perkins getting this up, so we're going to have to hope for a lot of good work from Perkins. How is the hypothermia doing? We're at 31%, so we are in the danger zone. which we don't want to end this episode before it even begins. Let's make sure we tell her to haul it, because she'll haul a little bit more, which will obviously save her a little bit of time. We are in a critical risk, and it is getting late as well, so obviously outdoors is actually 3 degrees, so we've got a little bit warmer, so that might have helped the hypothermia just a little bit. We're at 38%. We're in the stage where we might lose. Right, we're at 40. She needs to get this roof up. If she get this roof up, we're going to be golden. Right, I'm trying to pause it at the perfect time. I'm hoping she's going to build the roof, because otherwise our Perkins could go down here. She's building the roof. So if we look over to the right hand bit here, so we can see the current temperature, outside is 2 degrees. She is still gaining on hypothermia very slowly. We need her to build this roof. She's got 1 more block. There we go. Indoors, 34 degrees. Perkins is not dead. I really thought she was going to die then. We weren't nervous, were we? So, we are going to draft her so she opens this door, because if you don't open this door, this room gets hot. And then she'll die through overheating. Heat stroke, that's the word. So yeah, that's equally bad. Now, obviously, normally, or the priority now is to go get food. Our Perkins has had a good day, so we're just going to tell her, or she's going to pray. Well, I can tell you now, Perkins, praying is not going to help you in this colony. One thing that we want to do is, because I want to utterly have control of her, we're going to build a zone. So we'll just put area 1. Area 1 is just going to be in here. And so when I'm not controlling her, or when I want her to just stay, basically I'm treating her like a dog, like, stay Perkins, stay. I want her to stay in here, because hypothermia is going to be a killer, because if it puts us onto the floor, because it can immobilize us to the point, obviously, we're just on the floor and can't do anything. Now, that's our colony over. That's the thing with naked brutality. It is brutal. So we do have to be careful. So luckily the hypothermia is going down incredibly quickly. I accidentally... Right, let's draft Perkins. Let's get this door open. I think I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. And then she'll just move back in there. Door needs to be open, because look, the indoors got to 62 degrees, and that's a bit too toasty for our Perkins. So it's basically just keep an eye on the hypothermia. I think we will let it get down to as low as possible. Now, I would like to move, obviously, sooner rather than later to get these rabbits before they leave, but us having no clothes whatsoever does make me nervous. And hypothermia does set in very, very quickly. Equally, Perkins is just better as a colonist, obviously, at full health with hypothermia gone. We don't want it to the point where it damages anything, so I think giving it to 6% just gives us a bit more movability, and yeah. So, with that being said, Perkins has gone to sleep, and to be fair, Perkins, you done well on day 1. Thought we were going to lose her. Could have probably done a bit better with moving this base over a little bit. I hope we're still going to be... If I come in here, are we still able to put a Yeah, okay. I didn't want that to block it, so we couldn't put it. We're not going to get a research bench in first, because we're going to address the negatives first. Now, what I mean by the negatives is stuff we can help. So a negative, obviously, 8 without a table. Let's get this on speed 3 while she's asleep. 8 without a table is a really quick one that we can sort out now. Wildlife. Is there any... Okay, there's a rabbit really close to us. I've got a bad habit for keep pausing it, so you're going to have to, swear at me. Perkins is sleeping at the moment, but we've got a rabbit that's really close to us. Okay, some of them are not too bad. Okay, we've got a couple that are really close. I am keeping an eye on Perkins just at the corner to obviously just make sure we can catch her when she wakes up. So she's woken up now. So we're going to draft her down here, and she's going to get her first meal. So we're going to melee attack this rabbit. Now, we will take damage, sadly. It's all about healing as quick as possible so we don't get infection. I think the task for today is probably kill this rabbit. Let's see if another one's close. Maybe attack that and get a table up. Maybe that's too much for Perkins. We've got high hopes for Perkins, so come on, Perkins. Beat up this rabbit. I'll get the health up. Okay, so we only got bitten once, which is really good. We are just going to attack this rabbit just so it does die. I don't want it to get up and then attack Perkins further or move away. Because obviously time is of the essence. Obviously we've got malnutrition at the moment. We're going to get like a -12 for eating a corpse. Which is odd because you're not picky when it comes to human meat, but when it comes to like animal meat, oh no, no, no. Roadkill isn't good enough for our Perkins, but you know, a tasty warm human that just hit the deck, yummy, yummy, yummy. Are we a vampire at this point? So, malnutrition is still there. Oh no, we're fine, so that will go down. Food is pretty high, so this is going to be a little bit more mid-maxy than what you're used to, just because it's sort of... The next question is what is the closest rabbit? We've got one up there. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but one thing you'll have to grow and learn is if it's easy, well, it's not meant to be, is it? So I think we're going to go for that one. Oh no, we've got one there. So first of all, Perkins needs to undraft and she needs to unrestrict a zone and we're going to tend because that's the more important. Outside is a toasty -4. Like, the thing is, remember, this is summer temperature. Like, winter temperature is going to be pretty brutal for our Perkins, but that's fine. That's fine. Right, so the rabbit's over here, so we're going to come and kill our next one. So then we have a meal ready for tomorrow. If that rabbit over there stays close, we might kill them both. What's hypothermia at? Hypothermia is already growing. Don't want to risk that too much. Anyway, let's get this to speed 1, just so we can obviously watch everything. Just to make sure Perkins is obviously her best self. Be really great if you could kill a rabbit without taking too much damage. Again, another bite is not what we want to see. 2 bites. Come on, Perkins. I believe in you. Mike Tyson, this bunny rabbit. There we go. So, hypothermia is at 12%. I would normally, obviously, really like to get ourselves home when we're tending, just because it gives us more movability around the map, getting rid of this hypothermia, but the risk of infections could create an issue. But at least we've got a meal for tomorrow, so hopefully, looking at the food, she'll probably... she might want this today, to be fair. Okay, we've got one more to heal up. We'll haul this bunny back. Snowhair self-tamed. Oh, that's amazing. Like, okay. That's another meal. I mean, you're our friend, rabbit. Come home. Right. Haul that snow. What are we at hypothermia-wise? 22%. I might let it go down a little bit. Is that the tamed bunny rabbit? So where is it going, animals? So can I can tell it to actually come here. So Perkins, just wait. And like Meals on Wheels is coming. Look at this. Fair enough. Right, Perkins, what's your hypothermia at? 20%. Outdoors is 6. Can you slaughter this? But yeah, go slaughter the bunny rabbit. Lovely. Haul the bunny rabbit. And then I'm going to keep an eye on hypothermia, but while temperatures are like this, it might be worth doing some of the business. So, as every guide will tell you, how big is a research bench? Obviously, we want it out of metal. It's a 3x2. So we want the 3x2 there, meaning we want the table there, the chair there, the crafting station there. Because obviously then you can get one stall for all of that. One table is 28 steel. And a steel stool, whoops, is 25. And I want a crafting station. I want to get a crafting station up quickly. The reason why is I want to get a steel club as quickly as possible. Because obviously with the increased difficulty and that sort of stuff, we are going to get hit hard really, really quickly. So I want to make sure we have as much ability to fight back as possible. So I think queuing that up is going to be perfect. Right, we're all healed up. So Perkins, to be fair, How much did I say that was? So the stall was 25. We have that there. And that was 28. So I might get you to mine one more. Cancel that one. While it's 6 degrees outside. Are we still getting hypothermia at 6 degrees outside? Yes. Very slowly though. Like, we've got to use this time as best as possible. Obviously, once raids start coming, we're going to be sort of laughing. No, haul manually, because as we know, we'll haul a little bit more, which is perfect. How much steel have we got here? Oh, I don't want that steel. 64. Perkins, okay, you're going to go to sleep. Before you go to sleep, if you could build these, that would be great. Please don't botch. I'm rooting for you. Build this. Should have enough. Just don't botch it. Just don't botch it. Nice! Stall, obviously crafting spot. Oh, hang on. Pause. Please don't be leaving the map. That's a determined looking bunny. Looks like it might be leaving the map. And there we go. It has left the map, sadly. Is that all the wildlife? That is all the wildlife on the map gone. So, bit sad. We could have maybe been a little bit more productive in getting some more foods, but in the same sort of thing, we have to look after our gal, Perkins. If you got to this part of the video, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment. And me and Perkins will catch you next time, party people. Bye.